This is Spoken by Elswith, a Femdom Hypnosis podcast, Season 4. Welcome to Episode 10. Today, I want to make sure that you're familiar with the Mind Control Fragments and the free Femdom Hypnosis Mind Control Fragment player. We're just going to call it the player. That exists over on the spokenbyelswith.com website. The Mind Control Fragments are meant to be things that you can mix and match and swirl in there. The original concept came from a dear follower asking for something short to listen to while on his knees. I'm pretty sure it was while on his knees while gardening. In any case, that's where this idea came from. Now, throughout last season, I did release different mind control fragments. They're usually like 5 minutes or so, and you can mix them in, starting with, of course, an induction, and making sure you end with an Awakener. Now for today, there is an MCF that's put together for you. It has all the pieces in there, but I want to encourage you, after you listen to today's MCF, to go on over to the website, go to the free player, and mess around with it a bit. See what you think. And then, of course, throughout this Season 4, you're going to find that there will be more pieces added in there. And playing with this as an auditory experience theme, you're going to find more pieces that are encouragement, affirmations, swirling, confusion music, and so on. It's going to be a lot of fun. So enjoy today's MCF that's on the podcast, and then head on over and mess around with the player. So you already know your task for today, but your permissive circumstance is this. If you've already used the Mind Control Fragment player, then you have my permission. Tick-tock, look at the clock. It's time to go deep into trance for me. And no, I don't expect you to just drop what you're doing at the mere suggestion. But you're here, and you're listening carefully, right? You're comfortable. You're reclined, ready to take in a deep breath for me. Up, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Let your shoulders relax. Sink back into that chair or mattress. And in again. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Wait. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Wait. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And now out. spine. And go on and breathe naturally again. Tick, tock, look at the clock, and then focus on your relaxation again. The warmth you've been feeling spread down from your shoulders. It's in your belly now. And this is the perfect time that if you need to wiggle at the waist to stretch out any irksome tension, you can do so. Get into that perfect, comfortable position. Because that warmth with each breath, you can control it, pushing it further down through your hips and down into your thighs. And it is you controlling it. With each breath, you can decide if the warmth, the relaxation, if it spreads down your right thigh or the left. You can decide if it rolls and spreads to your right knee or your left. Because I've allowed this. But what I won't allow you to do is to bring yourself back out of this feeling. Not yet. So slowly but irresistibly, you'll fill up your legs with this warmth, and it's in your fingertips. And more, spreading eventually all through your body from head to toe. And each place from head to toe where you continue to hold any tension, I'm giving you permission. I'm ordering you to let go of that tension. In the same way you had permission to feel that warmth and relaxation. Maybe in your arms, your elbows, your wrists. Maybe you're still holding some part of yourself, some muscle in some particular position of tension. But you know now that you can truly allow every muscle to relax completely. As is the sea marvelous, from God's hands which sent her forth to sleep upon the world. And the earth withers, the moon crumbles, one by one, stars flutter into dust. But the sea does not change, and she goes forth out of hands, and she returns into hands, and is with sleep. Love, the breaking of your soul upon my lips. Kneeling here, obedient. Do you ever wonder what others in this shared reality might be hearing? Do they just hear a poem about the sea? Or something else, walking them through exactly how to stroke the timing of release? Or is it praise? Praise for working towards being even more, making that forward progress every day a little bit more, a little bit better. No, not just in the silly ways the world wants to measure, but in the ways that are important to me, to you. Those things matter. The real things, the things that don't hit Instagram or Facebook or so on. Genuine, authentic. That is why you're here. Maybe none of the above. Maybe it's a scolding deserved or not, but wanted just the same. Perhaps they've lost themselves in the thoughtfulness of thinking, or lost themselves in something other than themselves. The mindlessness of a playful puppy, the silliness of a kitten batting around a ball. Or again, none of the above. They've lost themselves simply in breathing and counting and mindlessness that's welcome. A peace, a rest, a simple now. And the one similarity between them, you, is the listening. Whether you kneel in your everyday life or in this shared headspace where I welcome you in, the listening, my voice in your ears, in your mind, that's the same. Listen, beloved, I dreamed. It appeared that you thought to escape me and become a great lily, a tilt on insolent waters. But I was aware of fragrance, and I came riding upon a horse of porphyry. Into the water I rode down the red horse shrieking. From splintering foam caught you, clutched you upon my mouth. Listen, beloved, I dreamed. In my dream, you had desire to thwart me and become a little bird and hid in a tree of tall marble. From a great way I distinguished singing, and I came, riding upon a scarlet sunset, trampling the night. Easily from the shocked impossible tower I caught you, strained you, broke you upon my blood. Listen, beloved, I dreamed. I thought you would have deceived me, become a star in the kingdom of heaven. Through day and space I saw you close your eyes. And I came riding upon 1,000 crimson years arched with agony. I reined them in, tottering before the throne, and as they shied at the automaton moon, from the transplendent hand of somber God, I picked you, as an apple is picked by the little peasants for their girls. On your knees, for me, you listened. How often do you need little pushes to keep that mind of yours spinning in exactly the right direction that I want it to spin? Just the right force to create just the right speed. Good posture. No wobbles, of course, unless I touch you here and set you off course. Wibbly wobbly. Isn't that fun? But the only game we're playing with right now is with this particular toy. No, you're not the toy right now. I want you to see a table. Any table will do. It can be wood or marble, glass. Heck, it can even be a cheap plastic one you picked up off the side of the road. Any table. Get it? Place it in your imagination. Now on that table is a top. You thought by top I meant me, didn't you, when you started this session? Just like you thought toy might have referred to something else. Once set in motion, a top will usually wobble for a few seconds, spin upright for a while, and then start to wobble again, losing energy and finally tip over and roll on its side. Your top, the one on this table, it can be wood or metal or plastic again, but remember that gleaming metal tip. With a flick of your fingers, set it in motion, grasp the small post on the top, spin. Your top, it can spin wildly across the table or off and onto the floor, and then keep going. Watch it. And because no toy can be perfect, perfectly balanced and weighted, and even the surface that the toy is on, it's not perfectly level either, is it? These imperfections, they allow other forces, including friction and gravity, real life, to come into play. And when it's spinning, a top, it balances on a tiny tip. This minimizes the amount of friction generated by the contact with the surface below. Eventually, though, of course, friction will begin to slow the top spin, creating that wobble. So let's think on this a moment. When you and I are in my shared reality, this headspace, what is it that's your metal tip that allows you to stay upright, to keep that momentum, to keep doing what you should? And what is the friction? Is it the surface? Is it the toy itself? The imperfections? Can it be fixed? Can it be made and remade and made and remade again? Let's try again. Except this time, the top, it is wood. It's carved, it's beautiful, it looks just like an acorn with a shiny metal tip. And you place it on the floor, cold tile floor, large tiles, slate tiles perhaps, but they'll work for this purpose. And now give it a flick. Flick it with your fingers, set it spinning, and watch it. And no, And know that you know instinctively exactly what it is that's going to stop that toy from spinning. Don't you? You know what creates the friction. And of course, being a clever one, you know how to fix it. I know why you're here with me, listening to my words. You're a pleasure seeker, and I'm promising pleasure, right? I might be promising discomfort, the feeling of being controlled and trapped. I sometimes even promise pain. But that's okay, that's all right. Because all of those things in your mind, they just sound like different types of pleasure. Isn't it decadent that you can think of things that so many would consider cruelty or torture as the right kind of pleasure to seek out? But that isn't what this moment is about. Right now, I want simple, delicious sexual pleasure for you. We're going to practice that right now. And you're ready to follow my instructions to the letter. Because this is an active pursuit on your part, I want you to be able to move. And mostly, I want you to be able to move your pelvis, your hips. We're going to start just by tensing and flexing. You're going to contract and squeeze the muscles around your cock and your ass. That's all. I'm going to count it out for you. 6 times you're going to squeeze everything and then release. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Doesn't it feel nice? When you release, a lot of the same muscles would be contracting and squeezing in the same way, uncontrollably. Just like you don't have any control here, either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Oh, but did I surprise you with the first beat there? Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Better. That's how it's going to be right now. When I start counting, you start squeezing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Oh, but we can do a little more than that. So this time, indulge me. Indulge me with a little thrust of your hips. Up into the air with each passing digit. And don't forget to squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't that good, dear? Where's your mind wandering to now? Are you happy, thrusting up into the air desperately? Or are you enjoying the thought of warmth, wetness, my thighs squeezing your hips? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, deeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good boy. Squeeze and thrust one more time. 1, 2. No, stop. It's not good enough. You're slacking. And you can feel my hand right now on your abdomen, pushing you back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tense all those muscles through your tummy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now let it spread back through your pelvis, your ass, your groin, your cock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, that's perfect. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back to thrusting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to keep at this because I know you can do it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rest now. You've done so well. In the far southwestern counties of England is a peninsula jutting out into the sea, just where the Atlantic Ocean meets the English Channel. The farthest south of these counties is called Cornwall. Along its rugged coastline, there are many places where the sea meets a shoreline of craggy cliffs. Some places have sandy beaches where the tide laps gently up toward the rocks, while other places have waves crashing against rocks, throwing sea spray into the air before it plunges down into the rugged rocks that form a natural barrier with the ocean. A little further inland, these rocks turn into hills where lush grass and coarse heather grow side by side in rocky outcrops. As you look around from the top of these hills, you can see the ocean and the inlets, where bathers sun themselves in between swimming out into the crisp, clear water, as well as the sea majestically battling with the solid formations of rock. Another feature you'll see further inland are clusters of rocks which look like mini mountain ranges, but are much more accessible. Imagine that it's a nice warm day, and as you wander across these green hills, you can see an outcrop of rocks in the middle distance. And, being curious as what is up there, you decide to go up and take a look. Walking slowly and evenly as there's no need to hurry, you make your way up the slight incline of the hill and find what may be a path. Or maybe it's a natural terrace built and maintained by the elements all year round. You follow the path as it meanders around the bottom of the outcrop, looking for an easy way to climb higher and see what secret is hiding within. Eventually, you see what could be a series of steps cut from the boulders by years of weathering. Climbing up is easy enough as you test every foothold before committing your full weight to it. The steps are nicely spaced out, so it really isn't too difficult to ascend. Handholds are frequent and aid your climb as the sun warms your back. Now, you reach the summit and look over the top where you can see down the inner side of the rocks, right down to a rock pool nestling down at the bottom. It's warm, the water is clear and inviting, so you decide to climb down and use the water to cool your hands and brow. You carefully pick your way down to the pool, which is quite large. Reaching into the pool, you can see small fish nibbling on the algae and small crabs scuttling across the bottom in that funny sideways walk they have. Having cooled your brow, you look around and spot piles of rocks, stones, and pebbles. Picking up a pebble, you gently lob it across the pool and watch it fall with a small splash in the middle. You watch the ripples gently surge toward you and have this familiar feeling of contentment. Now, you pick up a larger pebble and throw it harder, but it still falls into the pool, sending larger ripples back to you. Again, it makes you feel better, and so you pick up a stone and throw it as hard as you can. Again, it doesn't make it to the far side of the pool, but crashes into the water with a resounding splash and sends the mini waves all across the pool. This is fun, so now you try a rock. You know you can't throw it too far as it's heavy. So using both hands, you launch it over your head and watch it plummet into the water and send waves rushing back to you. Now this feels good. You realize with every stone or rock you throw, a negative emotion is diminished and then released. So you think of all the things which annoy, depress, upset, or limit you, casting them away with a throw of a stone and washing away those feelings with the return of the ripples. When you're sure there's no more of those feelings left to deal with now, you can turn around and head back up to the summit of the outcrop. Once there, you turn around and smile down at the pool, silently thanking it and me, your mistress, for helping you eliminate stress from your life. The chains of habit are too weak to feel until they're too strong to break. My dear, it is time for you to get up from your knees and move on with your day. I'll wake you slowly from this hypnotic session, and I want you to be aware that you might need time to stretch and find your balance again. Time to reorient yourself to the day, to where you are, and to what you need to be doing next. Waking slowly, finding yourself moving up. 0, 1, feeling sensation coming back, wiggling those toes. 2, rolling your shoulders, feeling your spine. 3, trance is lifting up, knowing you'll be fully awake and refreshed soon. 4, 5. There you go. Find your balance, find your focus, and find yourself. I'm proud of you.